Welcome back on WBS channel, the wonderful world of seashells. Tonight we're gonna talk about seashells from two different countries. First one from New Caledonia, and on the second video we'll talk about seashell from Mayotte. So New Caledonia is in the Pacific Ocean, and the Mayotte, it's a French locality that is located in the Indian Ocean, in the Mozambique Channel. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and you can post any comment. We will answer you soon. Please enjoy this video. So we're gonna start today. We're gonna start with the seashells I have the chance to find in New Caledonia. You're gonna see an overall view of the shells we're going to talk about in this video. As you can see, you will see mainly cones. I am a cone collector from this area. Don't forget that New Caledonia is in the Pacific Ocean. It's a French territory, and we're gonna talk about these seashells in a few minutes. So you have seen the overall view of all the seashells that I have found in New Caledonia. So let's start now this video and hope you enjoy our selection. So we're gonna talk about New Caledonia. As I said, that's mainly cones from New Caledonia on the boxes that you can see on the screen. You can find always books about the location you're interested in. So I will make several videos in the next week about all the books that you can find on the market and the books I have at home. I have quite a bunch. So we'll study all these books. So you might be so interested in buying some, and then you will see exactly if it's the book you're looking at. So we'll make like tutorial about shell books. So this is one from the New Caledonian cone shell. It's an old book, but you can have a lot of information, quite a bunch of information in this book. So you have many information, and you have also plates that I'm going to show you the plates. So if you don't have that book and you are a cone collector, I think you have to get this book. Okay, so let's start now with the cones and the cone box. So I'm picking up one. So it's the Conus magus from New Caledonia. This is the circular variation. It is quite a nice shell. It's quite different from the other magus you can find in other places like the Philippines. And all these were found fresh dead in the south of New Caledonia. And you can see that you can have many patterns, but the overall looking is the same. Why I found all these wonderful specimens fresh dead? How can somebody find that in a single day? It was a real blessing. It's because my friend Serge from New Caledonia, who hosted me there, took me to the Great South, and the water was really cold, and I could not stay like more than 45 to 1 hour. I was really cold. It was like 19 degrees Celsius, and I stopped the free diving and the snorkeling. I was walking near the shore and the rocks, and I started to find these shells. Some were crabbed with hermit crabs who have an hermit crab inside, and some were totally dead. I mean, I just have to clean like by 5 minutes cleaning. And all this came from the shore. Or some have a little minor defect on the lips, like this one, but most of them are quite nice for fresh dead specimen. So it was thanks to the storm, because there was a storm before. So let's go back to the cones. But I think it's good to hear stories about shelling, so that gives you idea what you do. So if you're too cold for when you're snorkeling, just go on the reef, I mean on the shore, and just watch in the rocks, around the rocks. You might find very fresh dead specimen, especially after a big storm. So you can see two magus here. We're gonna show you two more magus. This is a really neat shell. It's really an awesome shell with a magnificent pattern. I'm sure you love them on the screen. I hope this video I mean, I hope you can see the shells pretty well in the video, I think, because I'm actually watching the little screen of my camera. So we have seen several specimens. Some are really brown, like these two ones, you know. The dorsum and the bay are not, both sides are not the same color, different colored sides. I'm sure you love them. I personally love them. So we've seen this magus. So we're gonna change now with another species. I'm sure you're gonna love the next species. The next species is a species that you can find very deeply in the water. It's not a shallow water species, just like the one before. This is a quite deep water species. This can be found at least in 30 meters of water. Usually it's 34 to 40 meters of water at least. This is the famous Merletti, the small Conus from New Caledonia, called Merletti locally. And yes, they are most commonly found in 60 meters, like 50 to 60. So it's really quite deep if you want to find these guys. So you can see there, it's not a small shell. It's a very nice cone with this special white and red color. The spire is quite nice too. You can see the spire here with the apex. Some can be more clearer. It's really a nice shell. Really a nice shell. It's not that common, but it can be, when you're diving deep, it can be uncommon locally. But this is a really nice species. Personally, it's one of my favorites. You can find this guy also in the Indian Ocean. It's quite a little different, but it's interesting to see variations. We'll make a video with such variations. So these are pretty cool specimens. So we're gonna change now with another species. It's hard to put them back quickly in the boxes, so you don't have to wait an hour to see the next shells. So I'm picking up two more shells. I'm sure you recognize them, and if you don't, you're gonna have the name in a few minutes. That's why it's interesting to make such a video, because I mean, advanced collector will like to see some rare species, and for beginners it's a real help to identifying your seashells. So this is Conus monachus, still from New Caledonia. This is a very nice species. It's a rare species. It's very hard to find. It's a shallow water species, and I think it's quite a nice pattern. You know, like this is blue pattern. And this one has a real story, because when I was hosted by my friend Serge, I made a mistake. I put that shell in the plastic bag, and I thought it was the trash, and we put the shell and this bag in the trash, and it was too late when we realized it, and we had to go where where are stored all the trash for everybody. I don't know how to say that in English, and we search for our trash in like hundreds of trash with a lot of worms on around our feet, and we finally found our proper trash with the cone inside, and it was not broken. So this is a special cone with a special story. So this is a very nice species. This is Conus monachus. This is a very different shell with a very different pattern. This one is has a lip, as you can see. It's not great. I found this one while scuba. It's a dead specimen. The pattern is quite nice. It's quite a nice shell though, but as it's dead, the lip was broken. It's the only Conus aureus I found in my life, so I never seen this guy, never before. So my only self-collected Conus aureus. So I'm quite proud of it, even if it's not perfect. A quick view on this common shell that you can find from the Pacific to the Indian Ocean, the Conus lithoglyphus. It's quite impossible to misidentify this shell. It's really easy to identify with this white spot there, and it's bright orange to dark brown color, and it's very hard to find this shell in this condition. It's often often cracks there, and it's often attacked by some reef fishes. So this is a really common shell. It's usually all encrusted with algae or corals. So this is a big one. This is the big specimen. I'm sure you can find some while snorkeling anywhere in the world, except the Caribbean, of course. And I particularly love this Conus lithoglyphus. It's very nice species. So now we're gonna have a special variation from New Caledonia. Very interesting seashells, and they have one has two or three have a real story with them. I mean, I'm gonna explain you in a few minutes. Sorry for the cotton, because I want to protect my shells, and so is the cotton coming out with the shells. And you have a lot of empty seashell, found freshly dead, and this is quite awesome, as this shell are not easy to find, I think, nowadays. So you can see Conus marmoreus, and you can see there's variation from New Caledonia. It's very interesting because usually the shell is different. Let me pick up one from New Caledonia from another area. This is the classic Conus marmoreus. It's a really nice seashell. It's a very common shell from this area. You can find them in the Philippines too, of course, and it's, as I say, it's really common. You can have special variation like dark variation from the Pine Island also, and around there orange variation. I don't have this specimen, so I like Croceanus. I can show you actually this kind of seashells. There's one come from another location in New Caledonia, and we call them bastard. In French we can say bâtard, because they are really strange variations. So this one's it's found. This was found dead after the hurricane, and and other ones are in found dead too. It's very quite interesting. This one start, you know, this little confluent tense triangles, so it's integrate with the others. This is interesting. This one was found by my wife while I was keeping our first child, you know, in the house, and she went snorkeling with our friend, and she came back with this shell, and I said, look at what I have found, and I thought it was a joke for my friend Serge, and I thought he has given this shell to my wife, you know, just for the joke. I said, no, I don't think you found that. And she found it. It was dead. I mean, there was no animal inside. And it's perfect. The leaf is perfect. That was a blessing. This pot is awesome. I'm sure you're loving this seashell while watching this video. I'm particularly in love with this one. Look at the pattern. If I take back the first one, you can see it's quite different. All the triangles are confluent. It's very interesting. I'm sure you're interested on your screen by this really wonderful Conus. So here's another one. So there's on some part there are less pattern, and we're gonna move to this one. You can see there's still less pattern on this one. Look there, it's like quite white now. You can have pieces of like so often of like sand or anything inside. It's come from the sea, and these two wounds have the extreme variation. I mean, you have just a few stripes of black, and they are the next step to that we call suffusus, but just a form of variation of marmoreus. So when I found this one, you can see it's not perfect because this shell have been found dead. So I think for a dead specimen, it's quite wonderful. I couldn't believe it when I found this shell. I mean, it was like incredible. My wife has found the wonderful seashell. I mean, the wonderful marmoreus you just talk about, and I found this one. You know, it's incredible. I'm sure you're gonna love them on the video. This is really an awesome shell. So the surfaces, it's white, so it's a marmoreus. You could really think it's another species. It's quite different, don't you think? But it's still the marmoreus. It's still the same species. It's just white. It's like albinistic variation. So I think we've seen this bastard seashell. Now we're gonna change totally of kind of seashell. I will fill up my boxes later with the shell. I will arrange that, even if it doesn't have the room for everybody. And now we're gonna move to another species. I wanted to, let me take the box, it will be easier. So you can see now the Conus generalis. I would like to say this is one of my favorite, but you're gonna say this French guy is really stupid. Every time he shows us a seashell, he's just saying it's his favorite. So this is not my favorite. In fact, it's my second favorite. So this is a real big cone, as you can see on the camera. The pattern is very variable. The spire is quite interesting with this apex. I mean, very pronounced. It's flat and with this protuberance. And this is it's a very, very nice species. So this is a shallow water species usually, and it is found in colony. Once you found the colony, you can find a bunch of them, and you can really choose the specimens you're interested in, because you shall never over collect seashells, especially if it's forbidden. And these are sand dweller species, so you can find them in grass fields or sandy part of the lagoon. This is an awesome shell. You can see two more specimens. These are really interesting patterns. We have a dark one here, like the zigzag here. I'm sure you'll love this species. So that was the generalis. It's not that easy to find. So we're gonna change now, and I'm gonna show you several specimens of a different species. We have more common seashells. So let me take two more specimens. Here we go. So you can see all the specimens on the camera. It was close to perfect. It's perfect. No, it's not. It's perfect. So this is a shell I've found dead. That's why the lip is quite broken. It's a Conus literatus. It's not leopardus. The leopardus will never has this orange lines on the shell, and this is a shallow to like 20 meters of water. It is a sand dweller cone. It's feeding on worms. So this is a uncommon species. This is Conus. I'm not sure of the pronunciation. In French we'll say Caledonia, so I don't know if it's the same for you. This shell is oh no, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. This is the Virgo. Let me take the other one. It's missing. Here we go. So this is the Virgo, and this is the Caledonia. So they are really close. I mean, they really look the same. The Virgo has this very, very, very dark base, and this has not that dark base. You know, it's a little dark there, but not in the inside. Look, the difference is quite easy to spot. But when you're looking at the shell like that, it's the same seashells, don't you think? So the Virgo and Caledonia, or Solina, I don't know how you say in English. So you're watching also the common Quercinus cone that is found in Indian and Pacific Ocean. It's a very classic variation. These big guys are Conus levatus. We found pretty big specimen in New Caledonia, as you can see. It's really huge specimen. They have no cracks, no nothing. They're really gem seashell that were found in very shallow water in the low tide. That was not water anymore, and it's the smooth variation from the shallow water near the shore. The reef variation is different. Okay, it's not that smooth. the Conus terebra. Conus terebra, it's an interesting species. It's not that common. I found also this shell in Tahiti, but it was rarer. This is an interesting seashell. It's quite different from the others. And this is the striated cone, the Conus striatus. It's a fish killer species, so you have to handle this cone if it's alive. I mean, with care, because it can really hurt you, and if it's hurt you, I mean, you can really die from this guy. So this is the Conus striatus. So we're gonna move to the Conus textile from New Caledonia. So let's change now and watch the Conus textile. Conus textile is not rare. In the New Caledonia, it's not rare. You can have interesting variations. So let me show you all the seashells. Hope you're not bored. That's like more than 20 minutes I'm speaking about the cones. So this is an interesting pattern. This is dented cone. It's a really nice species. You can find them in several places in the world, and they can have many variations. You can have big triangles like blue specimens, like orange specimen like the Cervantes, and wonderful patterns. This is more classic. This is, we'll say, the classic variation. The classic seashell you can find Tahiti. It's quite the same. This one feeds on gastropods and is usually laying under dead plates of coral, because this one had an interesting variation of pattern here. You can see this drawing I've seen on the RKK book, and some from India, and they were just like this one. So I have a friend, my friend Serge, had this quite the same specimen, but with all the pattern to here, from here to here, with this exactly same variation. This is original looking. So I think we have seen the Conus textile. We're gonna change again. We have different species. We've seen quite a bunch of them. So let's take now this box, and quickly I'm showing you the marmoreus, the classic marmoreus. These were found with the Circae in the south, all dead, with the famous hurricane before. So I found quite a bunch of empty seashell. It was an awesome day. I thought it was always like that in New Caledonia, but it was not. It was just a chance. And I found on the same spot the Planorbis, Varieties, and the Varieties and the Chenouille variation. This is an ugly dead one, but it's the only one I've found with the Chenouille, So it's the same species, but it's just a local variation. Here are two more Varieties from the One Day Blessing in south of Caledonia. My friend Serge has given me a Conus omaria. You can see the omaria variation from New Caledonia, its data. I know that my seashells have no data, because actually I still have the data in my head, but I'm gonna start to write down my data, because I don't want to forget everything about these finds. And now I'm gonna change again the box. Here we go. You're gonna see two Conus tessellatus, still one Varieties, and one marmoreus. So those are really easy to identify seashell. This shallow water species. It can be found in the sand. It's feeding on worms. It's a pretty cool pattern. I love these two because they're very dark with a few white spots. It's almost orange. Pretty cool seashells. And this is Conus marmoreus. This is a common inhabitant of any reef in the Indo-Pacific Ocean. This is the ferruginous but much clearer pattern. So now you're able to identify a lot more seashells. Here are some more specimens. So this is the Conus eburnus. It's quite different from its cousin species of Conus. This is Puricarius and this is eburnus. So the Puricarius species, it's very close to the eburnus species, but you can see the dots are much bigger on this specimen and on the species than these specimens. You can see the pattern. Finally, it's quite different. On the book you might not see the difference, but when you have these in hand, it's quite different. And they are both sand dweller species and shallow water species. So eburnus and Puricarius. You can see another eburnus there with like zigzags. It's a common seashell. The Seashells, it's from the Varieties group, but it has a really different spire. Let me take the one I've shown you before. When you're just looking at them like that, it could look pretty close, but when you're looking at the spire, as you can see on that video, it's really different. Look at it's dark. It has nothing to do with the white spire, totally white spire of the Conus levatus. This is a huge specimen. In Tahiti they are quite smaller. So this is another one. Can show fastly. I like this one. They're really nice specimens. So we're gonna have a look to a few more specimens. There's dead guys. This one and this one. This is a rare seashell, it's Conus floccatus. It's really hard to find New Caledonia. Usually it's found like very deep, like 60 to 70. This is an empty seashell I found in like 40 meters of water, so I kept it because it was my only, and it's still the only I found with this other small specimen. It was a very nice variation, but you can see it has been found broken on a sand pocket in 30 meters of water. But I kept them because they are my only Conus floccatus I ever found in my life. This is Conus Hebraeus. It could be maybe the Judaeus. I don't know if you can find the Judaeus in the New Caledonia. It's the cryptic sister species of the first one. So this is a quite common seashell. So the Vitulinus was related to Planorbis before, like Planorbis form Vitulinus. Actually, I haven't checked on the Monier's book, but I think they decided to separate. I personally think it's a different species, so I would say it's Vitulinus seashell. It's often encrusted with algae and corals, but this one is quite a nice one and big. You have also the Conus ratus, and this very close is Balteatus. You can see there's both species. Balteatus is not a common seashell. The ratus it's more common, much more common. Okay. Here is an interesting species. It's a tented cone. It's not a Conus textile. It's Conus canonicus, and it's quite different. At first sight, it's not different, but when you're skilled enough, you can make the difference pretty easily, especially with the wide aperture of the Conus textile. Let me take one. I'm not sure you can see that on the video, but the aperture is wider there from the Conus textile. The pattern is little different. You have more like bigger triangles on the Conus textile. They are most numerous and small on the Conus canonicus. You can see it's more dense, and it's more dense. The spire is kind of close, so it's difficult to just watch at the spire. Okay, so this was the Conus canonicus. We'll see more from the Indian Ocean on this second video. This one is Capitaneus. I thought it was the Mystelinus, but finally we decided it's Capitaneus. They're sometimes very close when they love the lines there, but the very flat spire and large shoulder, it should be the Capitaneus. But if you don't agree, I could say you may be right, you know. But I think it's the Capitaneus. So be careful with Capitaneus. The lips is always very thin. We're gonna move to another species, one of my favorites. Hey, yes, he's still saying it's one of his favorites. He's killing me. So this is the Conus episcopatus from New Caledonia. It's very elongate. It's nothing to do with the Indian Ocean one. We have a more inflated shoulder. It's quite a nice species of tinted cone with the brown and dark background. It can be misidentified with a few other seashells like Conus saulicus. I will not present you on that video, or Conus magnificus. And often there's a lot of confusion between Conus episcopatus and Conus and with the Conus magnificus. So this is a very, very nice species. You have another interesting variation there of a seashell. I know it's not perfect one. When you find dead seashell, you cannot choose sometimes. This is emaciatus, Conus emaciatus. It's I mean close to Conus virgo, but it's a little different. You can see the spire. Conus emaciatus. It's different shape. You know, it's large there, then it's It's not large and it's larger anymore again. I'm going to show you now teeny shells, Conus coronatus. This is coronatus from very shallow water. They can be found in many regions of the world, very location. And this one is closed, but it could be Conus aristophanes. It's very close species. For a long time it was not described as a species. While diving, I had a chance to find a few more seashells, small teeny seashells, like this two one with the Conus viola, and this is the Leteus. It's very difficult to show you these dead and small specimens. So let me show you the Varieties. The dark ones and the white one were found with the magus cercare, all fresh dead while I was snorkeling. It's difficult to show you small species, but I think you can see them on that video. This is in if I remember well, it's endemic to New Caledonia. I hope I don't make a mistake on the screen. And my friend Serge had given me one. It's from the north of New Caledonia. It's totally different. I mean, for the color, the same shape and the same spire. Here are the teeny shells. In the small one, I found also this is a small specimen of Conus legatus. In the Pacific Ocean, they're quite small, like this one. In the Indian Ocean, you can find really giant, like about 60 millimeter. It's quite a nice species. It's one of my favorite species. I know I'm saying always it's my favorite, but they all my favorite. But especially this one, they found usually in 15 meters water under dead pieces of corals. So we have all the specimen of these boxes. So I can, for the known cone lovers, I'm gonna show you one box with a few other specimens. You can see here Conus marmoreus. It's this one is very interesting because it has all these like white lines, but in fact it's dots, you know. It's a big specimen. It's very interesting to see sometimes the different variation of seashell. Still the marmoreus seashell. And the last one. Sorry with the light, sometimes it's difficult to show you that because it's the night here. So let me show you a few olives, a few cories, and murex, and also other kind of seashell. This is I love this one. It could be my favorite meter species. This is the meter takisaoi. Sorry, let me show you this shell. it's a pretty cool seashell. Usually it's found in deep water on the sand pockets. I think it's one of the very most interesting meter. So you can see some more seashells. I cannot comment. I will comment in the videos, usually mostly cones and sometimes cories, but now the video is too long. It's 33 minutes. I have to stop now, and we're gonna change video and speak about the Mayotte Island. So hope you enjoy this video. Please give us a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see much more videos, and a lot of coming till this July. You're gonna have a lot of surprise in June. So stay tuned and have a good day.